photo people, I'm Allie.
And I'm Lizzie, and the Photo Sisters are back at it with another hands-on review. Today we're going to show you the
Canon 5D Mark II.
my baby, if I had a baby.
But she doesn't, so that's it.
Anyways, so this is the Canon 5D Mark II. It's not new, I'm sure all of you guys have heard about it, and we probably have a lot of watchers that actually own this camera. But if you're thinking about purchasing this camera or just want to know more about it, here's where you're going to find out about it. So, anyways, I've used this camera now for almost 3 years. So I don't even want to know the shutter count on here because I'm sure it's really high. But I use this camera all the time for weddings, portrait shoots, personal life, you name it, it's got me covered. It obviously doesn't have a lens attached right now, but you can see that it's still pretty small and lightweight because that's where it's at. We have our Canon TI here. This actually has the Sigma 50 1.4mm lens attached, but just like show the back side and see the size difference here between the cameras. You can see this one's quite a bit bigger, but it's still pretty small and easy to fit in one hand, which is really helpful for us. But anyways, I love this camera because you can shoot at really high ISO with relatively little noise. I shoot all the way up to 6400 ISO, and it does require some noise reduction in Lightroom, but it's still really usable. It really comes in handy if you're shooting in like a house that doesn't have a good amount of light, or if you're shooting outside and the sun is setting or it's really cloudy, you have the option to shoot better at higher ISOs. So that's one of the main reasons why I love this camera, specifically one of the reasons why I like it a lot more than the original Canon 5D, which this is the original Canon 5D.
I'll hold that one for you.
I guess maybe sometime if you guys want us to do a comparison, we could compare these two and show you like the file differences between the two, but I don't know if that's necessary, so let us know what you guys think if you want to know more about the difference. This I don't even think is sold anymore, but you could buy it used. But this one you can still buy new, at least for now. There is a new 5D Mark III out there on the market. I have never tried it. So the 5D Mark II, it has a CF card slot for a single CF card. There's no SD card slot or dual CF slots, just one, in case you're interested. Here on the top you have your basic information display center right here, your knobs to change the modes, your hot shoe, your basic stuff down here. Now one of the things I love about this camera is the battery lasts forever. I've had the same battery in this camera for I think 3 portrait shoots and a little mini shoot that we did, and the battery is still going strong, and this is the original battery that I had 3 years ago. So the charge holds really good. So if like you're traveling and you want a good long-lasting battery, this is going to be perfect. I do have a second battery that I bring with me, but anyways, that's a great battery. It's a great selling point, I guess you could say. The back has a huge LCD display. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm going to compare it to. I'm already comparing. I didn't even ask for your opinions.
There you go.
You can see how much, this is the 5D Mark II. And this is the original 5D. You can see how much bigger the LCD display is on this. So if you're wanting to have a better preview of your images, then this is awesome. And it also shoots really, really good 1080p HD video. And overall, it's just a really great camera. Do I think it's for everybody? No. I don't think, like someone like my sister, I don't really think she would need this camera because I think it's more for people that are shooting weddings, shooting things that are more professional, I guess you could say. Just because you have this camera doesn't mean you're going to get really great pictures. It's all about knowing how to use the camera that you have as well as the lens that it's paired with. So don't think this really nice, expensive camera is automatically going to get you great pictures. It's not. Now, there's one huge downfall to this camera that I hate, which is one of the reasons why you should get the Mark III if you have the money and the need for it. But the focusing system on this thing is horrible. It has 9 focus points, which is the same that was in the original 5D. So let's just say there's like way better focusing technology out there, way faster systems. If you're shooting in low light, you're going to tell that the lens is going to hunt for a long time before it locks focus. So if you're shooting inside, or if you have kids that are running around, this is not going to focus as fast as some of the newer cameras out there. And I'm sure we'll talk about that pretty soon, but The focusing system on this is pretty mediocre. I would say that it's usable, but if you're somebody who's just looking for an upgrade from your 5D or even upgrading from a Rebel, say that you really, are thinking about starting a business and you want to jump into the 5D series, the Mark II is a great start, but I don't think it's best for everybody. But if you just want an affordable, upgradable camera, this is your option that you're going to get. And I think it's still, the price that it's selling for right now is amazing. I think it's worth every penny that it's selling for right now, but yeah, it's a great camera. The files are beautiful that come out of this thing.
So what would you rate it?
I would give it probably an 8 out of 10. And the reasoning for the 8 out of 10 is getting docked 2 points for the focus system because I think it could be so much better. I'm really disappointed that with all of the other features that this camera has, that the focusing system is bad. Now I know we don't usually go into like megapixel speak, but this camera shoots like, I think, either 21 or 23, some ridiculously high amount of megapixels, which unless you're shooting for a billboard, you don't need. So if you get this camera, make sure the first thing you do, turn it off of the high megapixel setting. If you shoot at like the large raw file size, that's way too big. Shoot at, I think they call it raw small, which comes out to like 9 or 11 megapixels, I don't remember. But you don't need to shoot at the large file size. But we can cover that in a different video too.
Now, do you recommend someone buy this camera brand new, or can they buy it used?
Okay, so I'm all for buying a used camera, but the only thing I would be leery about buying this camera used is there's a lot of people who have had trouble with this camera focusing. So I would probably buy it new so that somebody doesn't hand off to you a camera that has a focusing issue and then you're stuck with it, and can't return it or have a warranty on it. So I would suggest buying this sucker new, especially at the price you can buy it for new nowadays. So this is a pretty decent camera. I think it's a great step if you're looking for a step up, and I don't think you can really go wrong with it, except for the focusing, but you can always try that out yourself and see what you think.
To read a more detailed review, click our blog below.
Yes, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel to get future updates on our videos. And of course, we would love to hear from you. So if you have any questions about this review, if you want to go into more features about this camera or anything about this camera that we didn't show you, feel free to leave us a comment below or email us. Our email address is below as well. But subscribe to our channel.
We'd love to hear from you.
Stalk us. We would love it.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.